Good morning, Merry Christmas again. So if you saw my last video, I talked about velocity. I'm keeping my head covered because I've been cutting my own hair and it looks horrible. But I had this great conversation with Ashley a couple of days ago. We were talking about the current situation we're all going through right now. And it's like, where does the value of money come? All of this, like I said from the beginning of the summer, is economics, folks. It has nothing to do with the virus. There is no virus. Well, there might be a virus, but it's not what they say it is. Let's be real. So where does the value of our economy and our money come from? Our money, it's actually currency. I got to keep correcting myself. We're just so used to calling it money. But our currency, the US dollar, also known as a Federal Reserve note, has no value. The value comes from faith and our willingness to exchange it for goods and services. Okay, that's it. It's just a piece of paper issued by a privately owned company called the Central Bank. In America, it's the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, it's not federal. There is no reserves, and it's not a bank. Go look it up. So all three of those statements are lies right out the gate. So where does the value come from? Us. You see, we live on a planet with resources. Whether that resource be, mining ore, gold, silver, agriculture, land. We have all these resources, lumber and dirt and rocks and diamonds and all kinds of stuff, right? Metals, alloys that we make. But the value doesn't come from that. It comes from the ingenuity and creativity of the individual who sees this material or product or whatever and creates something out of it, okay? That's where the value comes from, right? The value comes from us, the people, just like the power of the governments are supposed to be derived by us, the people. It is supposed to be a government of elected officials that are elected by us, the people, to represent us as a collective, right, in the world economy and in this, United States and so on. And now, so we understand that value doesn't come from a piece of paper. That is literally, so in some important dates you need to look up. 1910 to 1913. Okay, and if you need a little more to find out what I'm talking about in those dates, a lot of things were going on, but that is the time frame in which the Federal Reserve Bank that was finalized in America was created between 1910 and then it was pushed into law on Christmas Eve of 1913 when everyone was gone, completely illegal. Okay. 1944 is another date you're going to be interested in. This is the Bretton Woods Agreement. Of course, this is known as the Great Reset. That was the Great Reset back then, right? It was after World War II. And then we have another important date, which is 1971, when the Nixon shock happened. That's when Nixon took us off the gold standard. Okay? These are very, very important dates to understand what's going on right now in our current world. But the most important thing, folks, I want you to understand is you are the value chain. The piece of paper that we all agree to trade, that's the Bretton Woods Agreement, okay, holds no value. In fact, if you look it up, because of inflation, remember we talked about velocity earlier, if you look it up, the fiat currency we currently use has lost, I believe, 97 to 98% of its value. And these are hard numbers that are easy to quantify and look. It's very, very, very simple. Just go back to a date before 71, before 44, when our money was backed by gold, and look what a dollar bought you compared to what it buys you now. This isn't prices rising, folks. This is your purchasing power dropping because we are on a fiat currency system. Now go look up fiat currency systems and you will find that every single fiat currency system that has ever been instituted in any country has always failed. It has never sustained itself because it cannot. Okay, we are all have been sucked into a giant Ponzi scheme by the elites, and this happened in 1913. So what we're going through today, before we were even born back in 1913, has been planned and plotted for generations, but they just didn't have the technology to pull it off. Okay, and that goes into whole other rants about our founding fathers and why they escaped Europe, and because it's because of the central banking system, right? Let them eat cake.
Have you fed them? We feed them. We feed them.
We'll continue this.
They were starving to death, and that's happening right now again. Okay? So it's super important. I just I totally lost tracks and started seeing comments and stuff. Once the world stops accepting USD for trade, hyperinflation will occur overnight. I don't know about that, Sean, because the inflation. I don't know, man. I mean, that's what I've been thinking too. But I'm thinking we'll first go into a deflationary cycle first, which will help the prices of the market stabilize and goods and services will drop. But that would only be a short-term effect before hyperinflation kicks in, is what I would be thinking in that. And I think we're starting to see that currently because prices are starting to, depending on what area of the market you're looking at, kind of starting to level out a little bit. But now let's think about the role of us versus them. Them are the now crony, fake, false leaders that are supposed to represent us. And now remember, values created out of ingenuity, creativity, and individualism, our ability to think, and do things. So what do politicians and these elected rulers and leaders do?
And not only was it a monumental waste of well over $50,000 of taxpayers' money, but I would say it is an insult to the memory of Star Trek. I could do a better Captain Kirk.
Do they invent things? Do they create anything? Do they build cars, new technologies, and put them out in the market for us to enjoy? No, they don't do anything. These elected officials and rulers literally do nothing. They create no value in the system. The only thing that these politicians do is sit in their ivory towers. They are completely separate from us now. I've never seen one of these assholes over at Walmart because that's where most of us can afford to shop, but not them. They create absolutely nothing. The only thing they do is these days now tell you what you can and can't do and how much it's going to cost you to do it. Right? That's it. That's what they do. They extort you for their worthless fiat currency that they print and force you to use. They extort you through taxes, licensing fees, and other things.
Where's all your money gone, Donnie?
Taxes. 6, 9, 10, 11. Let me fix my houses.
Bug, it's okay. It's part of the game.
No, it's not.
It is.
Fun.
It's not fun to what?
It's the worst part of the game.
Oh, it's what?
Taxes.
Like, I am shocked. This is the first time as a business owner, second time as a brick and mortar style, you call it business owner, that I'm handling the legal and paperwork and back end side. My old business partner, I think he's watching, Pandina did all that, and I never realized how much bullshit it was, but mostly how much you have to pay him. Like, employers will understand that you have to pay a lot of money just to tell them how much you paid people. Yeah, you have to report how much you pay your employees, and then you have to pay them to report that. And it was over $400, by the way. So just to tell the state how much I paid my employees, I had to pay them $400 for the privilege to tell them that. These crony cocksuckers, excuse my language, produce no value. The only thing they produce is slavery, extortion, crime, poverty, division. They do not care about you. Period. They don't care if your family starves to death. They don't care if you get in a car wreck and die. They don't give two shits about you or me. The only thing they care about is extorting as much value out of you and I as they possibly can so they can keep living in their gated communities, flying their private jets, wearing suits that cost more than most of us make in a month, and laughing all the way to the phony, fake-ass Federal Reserve Bank while they do it. So, I say, you give them the fucking finger, okay? Open your business, live your life, and understand that you are the creator of value. They will not provide for your kids. They will not provide for your family. They literally just extorted billions of dollars to give you $600 that you have to pay for, by the way, in the form of taxation. Your kids will pay for it, their kids will pay for it, and their kids' kids will pay for it. Through taxation, extortion, fear, for the rest of their lives if you folks do not wake up and realize that you are the value. The only reason that these people have any kind of authority or power is because we allow them to. It's super simple. It doesn't matter that God knows how many of these mask-wearing fools that are driving around their car and actually are sucked into this scandemic and believe it. If we, and I know there's a lot of us, but we need to band together and do it and make our voices heard and just say, fuck you. I'm opening my business and come try to do something. Like my sister did, and guess what? Business is still open, folks. She hasn't paid a single dime in fines to my knowledge. They can't do this. They can't. There's no authority or power. We are the authority and power. So here's what I want to encourage you all to do coming into this new year. Grab your authority and your power, your ingenuity, your creativity, your love, right, for your community and your families, and tell these criminal scumbags to go fucking kick rocks, man, and open your doors and go hang out with your family and go to the parks in any one of these businesses that go, ma'am, sir, you have to wear a mask. Go, no, I don't, and I'll go give my money somewhere else. And go give it to someone else. I've done that plenty of times. They're hurting right now, guys. Businesses are going under left and right. Not the big dogs, though. No, all that trends, dollars. But, you know, make your voice heard, man. You are the value. Here's your $600, by the way. You can pay us back $6,000. That's no fucking joke, man. And it is funny, but it's not. You know, I'm laughing, but inside I'm just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe people are falling for this shit. Absolutely ridiculous, folks. If we keep acquiescing, and it was acquiesce, but we had the in there, acquiescing, or as in submitting to these tyrannical rulers and allowing them to have this power and authority, they're just going to keep pushing, man. They do not give a shit about you. They do not fucking care. They do not care. If they cared, they wouldn't silence professionals and doctors that are saying, hey, guess what? This isn't that bad. In fact, we don't even think it's a virus. Pretty sure it's a blood disorder, actually. If they cared about you, they would listen to you, but they do not. So understand that. They don't care. So I say we get some kind of power in our hands, be it through the sheriff's department, be deputized or something, and start going around and arresting these cocksuckers. Arrest the lead guy of the Health and Human Services. Or just fucking grab them, snatch them up off the street, beat the piss out of them, go Fight Club style. We take out your garbage, we make your food, we provide you with internet. We are all around you, motherfucker. Do not fuck with us. If we all had that attitude, these guys would flip their script really fucking quick. We outnumber them, we outgun them, we're smarter, we have more creativity, we have everything that they do not have. They are paid for crony scumbags who just do what they're told by the top echelon of the pyramid scam we're all in, and that would be the central banks. So, that's my message. Hope you guys have a great Christmas. I'm going to be by myself all day with nothing to do because everything's always closed on the holidays. I'm usually by myself, so don't be surprised if I just keep ranting on Facebook.